Hello everybody, Big Scary back here again, and gonna bring you another fight night, post-fight breakdown, UFC. This was I versus Calvillo. It was a pretty good event, another event in Vegas at the Apex Center. It's the smaller cage, and so it's been causing some pretty good events. So let's get into that. Our first fight of the evening was a welterweight bout. Anthony Ivy against Christian Aguilera. And just right off the bat, Aguilera came out and just blasted Ivy out. Ivy, gotta say, did not look like he was prepared for the big show. He's got an 8-3 record, so he's proven he can win, but it definitely didn't look all that high. Definitely gonna have to see what he looks like in his next fight. But good showing from Aguilera. Our next fight of the evening, Tyson Nam Zaruka Adeshev. Nam just came out and what was it? Yeah, three strikes and just landed such a nice shot that flatlined him, and then lands another shot on the ground. It was night. It was a nice win at bantamweight for Tyson Nam. Look forward to seeing more from him. Our next fight of the evening, Julia Villa against Gina Mazzini. And this was another one. Villa just jumped on her right off the bat and just did not stop punching. Once she got on her, she just let go, and Mazzini really couldn't do anything back. She just was overwhelmed. And they had to stop the fight. We'll see. It was a nice showing from Avila. Our next fight of the evening, Marabous and Gustavo Lopez. This was the first fight that actually It wasn't just a destruction, but it kind of was a destruction, but it wasn't. It was a 3-round destruction because Dishvali completely just grappled him to sleep. Grappled him to all over the cage. I think he went for close to 20 takedowns, 18. Yeah, it was a complete destruction. I had 2 30-26 scores and a 30-25. So yeah, it was a complete domination. That was a catch weight. Our next fight of the evening was Maria Agapova against Hannah Seifers at flyweight. And Agapova came out and she looked pretty good. She looked pretty good. Just was overwhelming her with punches and just keeping the pace up, and then just took her back and choked her out. It was a nice showing from Agapova. Definitely would want to see more of her. Our next fight of the evening was Jourdain Espinosa against Mark Dela Rosa. And it was a workmanlike win for Jourdain Espinosa. He came out, he put the pace on him, he mixed it up, he mixed his strikes up pretty good, got some groundwork in. It was a nice overall workmanlike decision for Jourdain Espinosa. And that was at bantamweight. Our next fight of the evening was at featherweight, Andre Fili against Charles Jourdain. And it was a nice win for Andre Fili. He always looks pretty good. Even when he loses, he has nice technique. His stand up, his technique on the feet is nice, and then his technique on the ground is good. He's all around very good MMA athlete. Puts the boxing together well with the kicks, and then his jiu-jitsu is top level. So another good win for Andre Fili. Our next fight of the evening was Charles Rosa against Kevin Aguilar. And after the last fight, when Rosa lost to Bryce Mitchell and just completely got dominated, I don't know if because he's normally a predominantly ground fighter, but for this fight he came out and just struck the whole fight. And he won the fight, and he looked decent. That's the most I've ever really seen him strike. And I don't know if he was discouraged after the way he got completely out grappled by Bryce Mitchell, but he came out and proved a point that he had some striking, and picked up a nice win. And that was at lightweight too, which is I'm pretty sure that's Charles Rosa's first fight at lightweight. Our next fight, our co-main event of the evening, was at middleweight. Carl Roberson against Marvin Vettori, and there was a lot of bad blood leading up to this fight. A lot of mess talked, and it started off a little slow, but once Marvin started letting his hands go, he landed some nice shots, and then was able, once he got it to the ground, he used his superior grappling and was able to rotate to Roberson's back and get a rear naked choke. So it was a nice win for Marvin Vettori. He's asking for a top 15 opponent in his next fight. And he was, that's one of Adesanya's best, closest fights, was actually against Vettori. So we'll see who he fights next. Our next fight in our main event of the evening was Jessica Eye against Cynthia Calvillo. And Jessica Eye was the number one rated flyweight in this in right now. And Calvillo is moving up from featherweight, or not featherweight, from strawweight, and so Calvillo came out and she was it split? No, it's unanimous decision. Put together a nice win. Definitely she outstruck her on the feet. Then the grappling, completely dominated on the ground. It's a nice win for her. We'll definitely look forward to seeing more from her later on. And so that was our latest fight night. Our next one is coming up. Another event coming up this weekend. Who is it? I think it's Curtis Blaydes against Alexander Volkov, and that should be a pretty good fight. Volkov he's tall. He's 6'7". He's got some nice kickboxing. And Blaydes is predominantly a wrestler, and he's got some nice wins too. So it's going to be your regular striker versus grappler. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Kind of going to pick Blaydes. Just I think his grappling is gonna be too much for the striking of Volkov, but you never know. Volkov, if he's able to use his reach and distance, then should be a pretty good fight. So that's those events. And as always, you can find me on Twitter at Big Scary, at Facebook Big Scary, Facebook Trauma Television, and YouTube Trauma Television, because this is a Trauma Television production. And always remember, as Martin Luther King said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice.